Craft brews and casual conversations. It is the 300th episode of Dudes with Brews on a Porch. My name is Drew. His name is Rob. And on today's program, bearded, chubby white males shit their sheets over the fact that their favorite beer may be going out of style. How are they going to express their superior knowledge and shake their head up and down endlessly as the brewers talk about the process of making an IPA when they're slowly fading in popularity? Rob is also faced with a conundrum. For all this and more, tune in to Dudes with Brews on a Porch.
Cue it up.
Okay.
You're about to hear the greatest show of your life.
Dude.
Dudes with Brews on a Porch with Rob and Drew.
I'm just gonna go post with it.
Yep, I try to cue it and the button didn't work. But here,
I got so excited when you said you shit your sheets.
Mm-hmm.
Because I literally shit my pants today, and then I realized you were talking metaphorically, or not even metaphor. Whatever. It was what would the word be? But,
yeah.
Either way, we can unpack all of that if we want to.
We sure can. I'm gonna be honest, Rob. I don't want to drink a beer, but I'm gonna. This is episode 300.
I don't want to drink either. Yeah, we have to though.
We have to. I don't feel the best. I haven't felt the best all weekend. I feel like shit. And but you know what? I gotta do this. So I'm drinking Tropical Beer Hug from Goose Island Beer Company. Now, Goose Island's a little bit of a macro brewery. I know. I haven't gotten to the store again. I wasn't feeling great. I didn't want to go out and do all this stuff and get beer. So I got something from a fridge. It's still of the kind of microbrew thing. It is an IPA. It's 9.9 ABV, super juicy, and bursting with tropical flavors. Just the thing to accommodate a swing in the hammock. I wouldn't be swinging in a hammock right now because it's colder than cold in the great state of Wisconsin. They say it's a juicy. I don't know the characteristics. I know characteristics of a hazy, but anything that's liquid, can't that be a little bit juicy? You know what I'm saying?
I think so.
It smells good. It feels good on my sore throat as I sip it. It's got a little bit of bitterness to it. In the up front, I definitely get a little bit of those tropical notes. 45 on the IBUs, 9.9 on the ABV. Goose Island Beer Hug. Robert, what you got?
I'm drinking Beachwood's Prieta. Pilsner. It's a German Pilsner, if I remember. German style Pilsner with lively floral hops and fresh crackery malt. Classically inspired German style Pilsner. So it's German Pilsner malt, Czech Saaz hops, and Holler Tour Mittelfrucht. On the hops, it's 5.3 ABV, 36 on the IBUs. It says drink fresh. This is a week and a half old. I don't
That's pretty
know
fresh.
if that's fresh.
Yeah, that's pretty fresh. I would say.
And also it says it matters who makes your beer.
It sure does. I would say the Pilsners and the lagers are creeping up in the popularity of the craft beer world. A lot of people are saying, damned be the IPAs.
It smells florally.
Florally?
Yeah, florally.
Will you flourish when you drink it? It looks the same color as mine. Looks like the same golden hue as mine. Oh, yours is a little lighter.
It's a little crisper, I think. Yours has a little bit more haze to it.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it's a little bitter on the tongue up
Okay.
front. Um, taste sticks around. It's got a sweetness to it, but I think it's overpowered by the bitterness. I wouldn't call it like a sour, but like sour type. Like that sounds like it might be sour when you put those two together, but it's not in this case.
Mm-hmm.
It's a very crisp beer that's just bitter on the upfront and hangs around. It's got a good Pilsner taste.
Excellent. Very, very good. Um. All right. I forgot what I was going to say. 300 episodes, man. Congratulations to us for what? I don't know, for sticking with it.
I'm at like 250 only, so
That's okay. We're still doing it. It's still going. Whatever that means, we'll do it until the day we die, I suppose. When our dentures are in a cup and you're rich and famous because you just sold your book rights to Netflix as a series.
yeah, we can't talk about that yet.
Oh, you're right. My bad. The strike's still going on? I thought that was all squared away.
No, it's just there's contracts. It'll probably be like another 10 years.
Boopity boppity. My God. All right. Well, IPAs are going down in popularity, and I don't know how you feel about it, Rob. IPAs were the kind of my introduction to the craft beer world, in a sense. It started with the Spotted Cow from New Glarus, which is not an IPA. It's it's like a saison, but slowly progressed into the IPAs. It's always been my go-to beer. Anytime I don't know what to drink on the menu, I go, all right, just give me. If I see the word hazy, juicy, and IPA, you're getting me one. But now people are like, no, it's not where it's at anymore. It's the Pilsners and the lagers. Do you agree or do you disagree? Which one would you prefer? What are you reaching for in your current state of Robert?
To tell you the truth, I'm reaching for a non. Well, I don't know what's the difference between a regular pale ale and an IPA. An imperial pale ale, it's just the alcohol content.
I think it depends on the hops. Yeah, pretty much. And alcohol
So
content changes.
like lately I've switched to non-IPA PAs,
Okay.
non-Is. That's what I call them. Noise
Pale ales?
for short, but it's not actually that short because you have to explain that a Noi is the I out of a IPA, so it's
Okay.
yeah, people tend to not understand when I'm talking about it, but I'm doing that not because of the taste. I like the taste of IPAs. I like drinking IPAs, but I've just I get a little too fucked up too quick sometimes. And it's like most people will tell you that drink with me, I don't get drunk and stupid, but to me I just feel it. I feel it in my extremities and in my facial muscles a little too quick. And I think I can stay on a little bit more level keel if I drink something that's more in the 5.5% as opposed to the 7%.
And I think that's part of the mentality of why it's, or the rationale of why it's fading in popularity. Because when people go out, if you're drinking IPAs all night, you can have like two or three, and then you're pretty much tapped out because you get into these 7, 8, 9, sometimes 10% ABVs on there, and people are just like, ugh, this is not for me, and then they keep going, and then the next day they feel like death. Whereas on the Pilsner or the lager side, it's lighter. It's definitely crisper, more refreshing. I think in the Midwest, like it's a very familiar taste to us because we have Miller, we have we drink Bud Light.
It's in the genetic code out there.
Yeah, it really is.
To drink non-IPAs. I mean, I'll say this at the bar I go to, still a heavy IPA bar. There's still a lot of IPAs out here. I don't think it's going away
Watch it though.
overall out here. It might be the first thing that happens there and moves west as opposed
Mm,
to happening west and moving east. But because it's like the other thing is like out here, you kind of want to get your bang for your buck. Same
sure.
price, more alcohol.
Yeah, that's true.
Or taste, it's because I will say non-IPAs they don't have that craft like flavor to them in my
Hmm.
opinion.
Right.
It's you're when you get something that's not an IPA, it tends to be more middle of the road centrist beer flavor depending, lager, pilsner, imperial stout. No, take out the word I. Noi stout. Uh, but like that's probably I just like contrary to everything I just said. Um yeah, I don't know. You get more flavor out of an IPA if that's what you want, but you got with that come with great flavor comes great responsibility.
Absolutely.
Do
So,
I need to Uber home tonight?
right.
Probably.
So with that said, you sent a list about the 2023 most popular IPAs by state. We're not going to go through all 50 states, but I want to go through some to see if we've had any. So obviously we can start in the state of California where you reside. And they say the Pliny.
Pliny the Younger.
Have you had this from Russian
I
River
have.
Brewing Company? You have 10 point.
Yeah, Russian River is a great brewery. They do Pliny the Elder is all it's on tap quite a bit over at Tony's.
Mm-hmm.
But it's a very special occasion when Pliny the Younger comes to town.
Okay.
Uh, I can't remember well enough to tell you which one tastes like which. I stay away because like when it comes around I'll have one, but it's high alcohol content if I remember
Very.
correctly, like 10%.
Yep. 10.2.
So like I didn't actually read this list either. I just zoomed in on a couple states.
So does
Uh,
Pliny the Younger, does it taste like new and refreshing, whereas like Pliny the Elder, it might have like a little bit of like dust,
it's got a musk to it.
maybe some
So
like loose candies.
it's like Pliny the Elder definitely has a low hanging ball taste. Um,
That's good.
no, they're both very crisp. They're very refreshing, good beers. Russian River knocks it out of the park time and time again.
Another popular one that a lot of people seek all across the country is the Dogfish Head Craft Brewery 90-minute IPA. They
Is that Arizona?
Delaware. It's out of
Oh,
Delaware.
geez, I was way off.
That's all right. It's out of Delaware, and every year they do a batch of it, a special batch of it, and it sells out like crazy. Dogfish Head is, it's a craft brewery, but again, it's kind of on that macro side. It does distribute all across the country, but boy, do they have the market tapped in for IPA lovers. So bearded, chubby white dudes like myself, look for the shelves of this. I've had it before. I think I might have it. I've had it on the show. I don't know. I could be wrong on that, but I know I've had it before.
Dogfish Head?
Yep. 90-minute IPA. It is tasty. It is good. And that's probably one of the more popular ones I would say in the entire country. Even though I have, limited knowledge of all this, that's just based on who I talk to about these things is what it says. Here's one we've had in the great state of Florida. The Jai Alai IPA from Cigar City Brewing. I think you and I have both had that.
That Jai?
Yes.
A lie?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah, I think I remember that.
I couldn't tell you how it tastes.
Possibly.
But I know we've had it. It's got to be pretty good.
I bet you we drank it because I remember the ones we dump. I don't remember the ones that we drank
Yeah.
so much, but
Of course, in the state of Iowa, this is one that we've had on the show. Numerous renditions of this beer from one of my favorite breweries of all time. Again, they're kind of getting to that macro brewery level, and some people are against it. They're tapping into other breweries to. They're giving their recipes to these breweries, saying, "Hey, can you make this? Put our label on it and distribute it, so they can distribute it, in different areas a little bit easier." But Toppling Goliath's King Sue. It's absolutely delicious. Anytime I see it on the shelf, I'm buying it because I do really enjoy it. Toppling Goliath is like a 5-ish hour drive from my house. And I've always wanted to hop in and take just a road trip down there or probably stay the night. But I've always wanted to do that. It's on the list of things to do before I die. In my luck, I'll be dead tomorrow. Moving on. Yeah. Let's see here. There's now a Bell's. So Michigan, I believe we've had this as well. The Hop Slam Ale from Bell's Brewery. That's I think a brewery you're pretty familiar with. Is that correct?
Yeah. I'm pretty sure I've done Hop Slam twice at least on the show because I think that's one I can get out here.
Mm-hmm.
If I can find a picture of the can. Yeah, definitely had this one, and it was good. Drank it many times on my downtime, when people come over or whatever, and the
Mm-hmm.
Hop Slam was good.
Absolutely.
I
10.
don't I don't I, like if I had money and time and whatever, I would have tried to find some of these and we could have drank them beforehand. But
That's all good.
I think I sent this to you 2 days ago, so
It's all good. 10% ABVs on that one. Minnesota, the Abrasive Ale from Surly Brewing Company. Of course, Surly's going to dominate the beer market in Minnesota. There are things dubbed as the Surly laws, and we could probably do an episode of this, but Surly Brewing has changed the world of brewing in the state of Minnesota. Numerous times they have found loopholes around laws. Laws have been augmented because of them, and it only applies to them where it doesn't apply to other breweries in their favor. And they really they've done some crazy stuff. The Surly, they make amazing beer though. I love their Ferocious IPA. I love everything that I've had from Surly, but it sounds like they do have some almost like mafia mentality practices every once in a while. The Surly laws, it's a real thing. So it's we could do a episode on that, I
I'd
think.
be into that. Yeah, that's an episode we should definitely do.
Other looking at the list, there's not much else that we have. I don't think we've had. North Dakota Freak Parade. We've had that. I've had that on the show. I don't know if you did. Drecker Brewing Company. Again, they're getting to a level where they're tapping into other breweries with their recipe. They're having other breweries brew their beer, put their label on it, and distribute it a little more so it's more accessible across the country. Really good beer. I've heard it's an amazing place. Every time I'm in Minnesota seeing my family, they live on the west side of the state. We're like an hour 15 from Drecker, and we have never made that drive. We got to do it. I regret it every time that we don't do it. And then in Wisconsin, it is the New Glarus Brewing Company Thumbprint Scream Double IPA, 9%. I've never heard of this beer. I've never had this beer. Yeah. When you think of, obviously, this is an IPA list, but when you think of New Glarus, you think Spotted Cow. That is their most famous beer. People come from out of state strictly to have that beer because of the popularity that it has created since its inception. New Glarus only, from my knowledge, distributes in the state of Wisconsin, and it is a destination for beer enthusiasts. It's I've never been there. I've had a handful of their beers, but I will have to look for the Thumbprint Scream Double IPA. Again, Imperial, your favorite word. 9% on that. So those are some of the top beers of 2023 in the world of IPAs. But again, they're popular. But many, like IPAs, the history of IPA, if you think of it, has really changed. You know, the New England IPAs. You got the Brute IPAs. I don't know if you remember drinking some of those Brute IPAs with me. And those were kind of funky. This experimental IPA that's like, it's bitter, it's insanely like piney, and it just kind of gross. I didn't really like it. It was like you took sewer water and put it through a filter one time, and that's kind of what a Brute IPA looked like. I've had some pretty gross looking beers, but and sometimes, you know, they're absolutely delicious. Sometimes they're not. But the Brute IPA was like it was like a real like fad for a little bit, and then it went away. None of the beers that are on this list are Brute IPAs. I don't think it's anything that anybody looks to make anymore. American IPAs or American Pale Ales, Imperial Pale Ales. There's a couple New Englands. King Sue is technically a New England Pale Ale, but those are really the top three type of IPAs that people are drinking. The Belgian IPAs, again, it's all based on hops. It's all based on how you brew it, but there's really nothing outside of those kind of four types anymore. Even like the hazies, the juicies, I guess those are probably considered Imperial as well, but yeah.
What does the I stand for then?
Imperial.
Okay, so in New England,
it'd be an NEPA, pale ale, New England pale ale, or it's like India pale ales. I don't know. I don't really know. People just call
We should know that, I think, right?
maybe people just call them IPAs for the most part. I think it's just like a umbrella terminology, but then when you dig deeper, it turns into something
Gotta
else.
mean something.
You know what I mean? It's like Christianity. You know, they have the umbrella Christianity, and they got the little Lutherans, they got all those other psychos and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, but it's very important to get those straight.
Yeah, if you want to get into heaven, you got to pick the right one, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So that's the beer news. That's the beer related content. So all the snobs are like, dudes with brews, blah, 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 blah. Lick our butts. Lick our butts. And I'm going to tell you, I didn't bathe today because I've felt bad. So my butt is not clean or fresh.
And I pooped myself, so there we go.
How did
it's
that
not going to be fun for you?
How did that come about? So I actually have a poop related story too that you just inspired me to think about. But would you like to share yours first?
There's not much to share. I mean, I didn't feel terrible. I didn't feel sick. I wasn't drunk. I literally I went and got breakfast. I got out of the car. I was walking up to my house. Luckily, I was walking up to my house and not somewhere else. And like all of a sudden my stomach I got that pang where I was like, I'm gonna have to go. I got a place I got to visit once I get up there. And then I felt a little bit of warmth, and I was like, I didn't think I even farted. I legitimately just all of a sudden there was just a little. And I went up to take a to do an investigation, and there was physical evidence to find. And I had to hand wash my drawers before I did my laundry.
I would have thrown them away.
Oh no, not my MeUndies, man.
Oh, that's true. Yeah. Those are worth scrubbing by hand. You know, we haven't really talked about MeUndies. I still wear them each and every day of my life.
I do too. Yeah,
that's all I've worn for probably like 3 years now. They still don't sponsor us.
It's gotta be like 5 years or something for me. I swear.
Yeah, they're amazing. I got to get some new ones because I got some ones that are just kind of.
I don't. You want to know why? Because they hold up so well.
Yeah, maybe my
MeUndies. Lifetime guarantee. I could have sent them in with the poop on them, and they would have sent me back a new pair.
That's not accurate. I don't think. But no, I went to.
I think it is. I think that there's
the poop guarantee.
Yeah, maybe they would have gone. Try washing them first if it doesn't come out. But
I the other day I had to make a decision as well. It was like Madison had a basketball game about an hour away, right? And then I got done with work. I did what I had to do at the radio station afterwards. And then I was like, I have time, but I don't have enough time to go home because I'm going to go home and then just sit there for 10 minutes and then leave again because I'm on the way opposite end of town of where I need to be. I'm kind of in the general vicinity of the direction I need to go in. What do I do? And then I was like, well, I kind of gotta take a 2, right? So then I went to one of the greatest convenience stores of all time ever just thought of. Quick Trip, a beautiful place that I love very much. They're also
it's an oasis in a desert wasteland of Amco stations and Route 66s.
Exactly. So I went there, and then of course the toilet was just disgusting. I was like, ugh. I got to do this. So then I cleaned it up a little bit, and then I go to throw it in the garbage can, and I see a pair of boxers in there. And I was like, I know what happened. I've been here before. And it just made me reminisce a little bit, you know?
Yeah, I'm trying not to feel too bad about it because it's not like I didn't even gamble and lose on my end. I like literally it just happened.
Yeah.
And then like when I relieved the situation that caused the issue, I was like, oh, I think I feel bad. I think I might be not feeling well, and my body hasn't caught up to my external features have not caught up to the internal chaos that's going on somewhere within me.
Yeah. Well, you know, Forrest Gump said it first. Shit happens.
It definitely does. You know, I'm trying not to beat myself up about it. I'm sharing it with the world. Yeah,
exactly. It's it's going to bring you closer, I think. It's going to bring you closer to self-actualization.
But yeah, so that happened today. Yeah, it For some reason, I'm lagging. Am I lagging on your end? Is the audio lagging?
A little bit. It's all good though.
Oh, okay. All right. Also, so I came across in my so it's been 2 weeks, right? So in that
Yeah.
2 weeks, I've been inside. I had to board up an apartment at work where somebody broke the window to get in after being evicted.
Mm.
I had to board that up, and while I was in the apartment still, they came back and started kicking down the boards that I put on the doors. So I got to deal with that. That was fun.
You didn't shit your pants though?
I didn't. No. See, that's why I don't feel bad about what happened. Like, it's like a cool breeze. Yeah, that might make it happen. But somebody breaking into the room that I'm in, I'm like, I'm a cool as a cucumber.
That's right.
Dry as an arid, dry as a sheet out of the dryer.
Yes.
That's good. Yeah, that works. All right, good. After 2 cycles, but um. But yeah, I've been coming across critters in my lawn, in my front yard, consistently now for the past couple like week or so. First it was a possum,
Mm-hmm.
which was very scary to me. I found out I'm afraid of possums.
They're
A
ugly.
lot of people, well, it looks are neither here nor there. I don't want to disenfranchise anybody that thinks possums are cute. That's not what it was about. They look like they could be vicious. Many people have told me since that they're hissing and whatever. That's a defense mechanism. They're Chris Moneymaker at the poker table. They're bluffing you. What I chose to do when I came across the possum was to stand still. Uh, and I realized after a couple minutes, that's not the tactic to take with a possum because he did the same thing. Um,
You
so it's just
just
like it ends up wasting a lot of time for both of us.
yeah.
So finally I got past that possum thing, and I was like, now I'm a little afraid to go into my, I got to check the courtyard before I walk through. Next night I'm coming home, two skunks
Mm.
in the front yard. Now skunks don't scare me in the same way, but I definitely don't. I stay far from skunks.
Right.
And then today I came across if you can look this up, or I can send you a picture. A Jerusalem cricket, also known as a potato bug, but not the potato bug that we all think of when we think of a potato bug. This thing is massive. It's the size of your hand. It looks like a mix between a cricket, a bee, and a tarantula.
Yeah, and like
Um,
an ant almost too. That's this thing, right? Jerusalem cricket.
There's a video of somebody with yeah with one crawling up their arm, and you can see how big they are.
Nasty.
Like like I'm not one of those people that can't step on insects or whatever. Like they're bugs. There's trillions and trillions of them. I'm not extincting an ant by colony by stepping on an ant or something like that. We can try and feel for everything, but at some point you gotta feel for yourself. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Um, but this thing I couldn't. I was like, I don't know what this is. This could be a queen insect of sorts that's going to colonize my yard, and now I'm going to have an infestation, but still cannot bring myself to step on it, for I thought it might scream out in terror and agony, and I would the tears would be stuck to the bottom of my shoe, and I would have to live with that guilt for the rest of my life. So I let it go. But now I'm very afraid to put my shoes on, but apparently they burrow into
Mm-hmm.
the ground, and they don't mess around with humans.
All right. That's not
But they
your.
will bite you if you flick them in the face.
So you're getting a taste of the California wildlife, but this isn't the conundrum that you addressed with me a little bit earlier. Do you want to talk about that or no?
I do, but I forgot what it was.
So you were telling me, so we've reached the beer talk, did a little bit of comedic genius in the middle. Now we're gonna go to the serious, real deal, real life stuff. of peer
Is this
pressure.
about the guy, the person that contacted me?
Right, right. The person that contacted you.
Yeah, yeah. So, this also happened now this last week, where somebody from my past, somebody from over 10 years ago, that I haven't spoken to, contacted me with just with a stark hey. That's how
Hmm.
they started the conversation. And this is a person that stole money from me back in the day. This is a person that um, was on the same life trajectory as me back in the day in terms of using drugs and things like that.
Just start with a J.
No, no.
Okay.
His name is Ryan.
Okay.
It's not my brother, obviously.
Obviously.
But I'm just making that clear to anybody that maybe is tuning into one episode and hasn't seen Ryan for a few years and whatever. Not my brother. Um, but yeah, he says hey, and I'm in like I woke up to and I was like, all right, this is weird. Maybe an apology is about to ensue. I know he found Jesus Christ at a certain point in his travels and supposedly quit using or whatever. So I go, what's up? Just short and sweet. And he goes, how's SoCal doing? I said, SoCal is great. How are you? He's like, I'm in Saniski or some weird place I've never heard of. I looked it up. It's a real place.
Okay.
Um, and he said, studying yoga.
Hmm.
Want me to bring you anything back? And my first thought process goes to this guy is in a probably I mean, a country that has a drug export thing, and that's where my brain goes when this particular person asked me that particular question after that amount of time. My answer was starkly no, but it still was like, then I spent the rest of the day going, do I tell somebody that this happened? I don't want him to go to jail for smuggling or
Hmm.
most likely he was just trying to rip me off and get me to send him money or something,
Hmm.
thinking that I was still, a lot of people say they've gotten clean and they're just trying to fool people or whatever, and maybe he was thinking that that was the case. Maybe I don't even know. He probably like he knew I was in SoCal, so he obviously has seen my Facebook or something.
Hmm.
I never told him that. I never told his sister that. I never told anybody in that group anything about that.
Hmm.
So somewhere along the line he found out where I was somehow. I'm not too I'm not too secretive about it, but so either way, it's just it was a weird thing to have happen. I after like 6 or 7 hours, I finally did out of concern for him, I messaged his sister and told her, hey, I didn't tell her the exact details. I just said, hey, check in with your brother because I don't know what he might be up to something that he's not going to come back from. I hope he's okay.
Hmm.
Just check in with him. And that was that.
And he didn't respond after you said no.
I said, no, I certainly do not. And he said, good. And I gave him a thumbs up.
Hmm. So,
Um,
I mean, obviously, in your thought process behind it is like he thinks you're still using, and he's going to give you the idea that he's going to bring something from a different country over to you, and then, but you obviously have to give him the money up front, in which you would
Well,
never
I mean,
see or return.
I would, yeah, I would guess with him that that's what's going on, even if he's being legitimate about it, and it's something I don't want. And I might be being like, there's a lot of ins and outs of how I'm thinking about this. A, because I know his past, I know that he was like one of those users that didn't give two shits about anybody that would steal from his own family. Like he's one of those types of people that would do anything he needed to do to get what he needed for himself. But also, he did come across my Facebook feed not that long ago, in a different country, wearing wearing a turban and like loose fitting clothing, and I believe he had a gun.
Hmm.
And to me, like you add that picture in, and I don't want to like get into this weird like racial, national, whateverist one of these IST things where I'm being an ist of some sort.
Mm-hmm.
It's there's a lot of context behind it because
Mm-hmm.
I know who he is. I saw that picture a couple like a month ago, and then to get this message, like to me, it tells a little bit of a story. I could be wrong. I don't want to find out. I don't care to find out. I hope he doesn't do something stupid, but honestly, that's a part of my life I had to leave
Mm-hmm.
behind. It was nice to like without second thought. It's just another one of those tests that you come across um and luckily like my I can say to you or you could say to me like, "Oh, you passed because you said no." But I'm saying I know I passed because I never had the thought of maybe. I never like I had the thought of you know what the fuck, why would I do that?
Mm-hmm.
Which is I think that's a good sign.
Yeah, and you could also say that you
I,
passed because you took the time to reach out to a family member to be like, hey, your brother's up to maybe something. Check in with him to see if he's okay. So
some shenanigans. Yeah.
yeah, for sure.
To put it lightly. I didn't like I don't want to be somebody that throws people under the bus. Like everybody's got to live their own life.
Mm-hmm.
But it's also like I don't care if he doesn't like me for that.
Right. Well, it's
Uh,
just weird. It's a weird response when you're like certainly not, and he's just good. Okay.
yeah.
So like,
Like oh yeah, like I passed the test on his terms as well. Like good. You should have said no. But I've been in that situation enough where you run into somebody who's gotten clean. You make like a weird like you there's an underhanded I'm not coming right out and saying, hey, do you want to get high?
mm-hmm.
I'm saying, hey, like do you need anything? How wink wink whatever, nudge nudge. And then when they say no, like, oh yeah, me neither, but it's good. I just wanted to just to check in. Just checking in, just making sure. Good. That's really good.
Mm-hmm.
That's how I took it. Now I might be wrong. I don't know. I'm wrong about a lot. In this case, I don't give a fuck either way. Because he's not my friend. He
Right.
was my friend back in elementary school. We went our different ways. We linked back up for him to steal a bunch of money from me. Then he found Jesus and got clean, and it sounds to me like he maybe went back down that bad path. What happens with him now is out of my hands. But it did take somebody telling my brother, hey, you know what they're using, right? And Michael then coming and confronting me about it, which I was really upset about at the time, but in the aftermath of getting my shit together, like your brain unwraps the illogical knot that has been tied in it by drug use, and you go, oh, I'm glad that that happened. I'm glad somebody said something. Which is probably why I didn't just like disregard and move on with my life. I said something to
Mm-hmm.
someone that was in his circle of being, which I am not.
Good. Well, I'm proud of you for many things. One, I mean, you're an interesting case in the regard that you can still drink, and it's not like a problem by any means. Everybody I talk to that's in the world of sobriety is like it's all or nothing, which is interesting. Hopefully you heard that lagging a little bit. Did you hear that? Nah, shit. Look at this. Episode 300. Beautiful moment in which I think my internet is taking the shit. I'm getting the notifications. My, how the turntables. I gotta turn the TV off. I gotta do all this kind of stuff. My Wi-Fi may have just fucking gone out. Son of a bitch. We're gonna pause this. We are back, and in true fashion for episode 300, we're going back to the roots, back to the shoddy internet. I think it's on both of our parts. Rob, my computer is getting really, really old. I was trying to like do some things on it, and it is so fucking old that I do have to get a new one. But money.
Yeah, money. Yeah.
Money.
Nobody has any. Everybody needs it.
Yeah, exactly.
Money.
Yeah, exactly. So, um, yeah, we were talking a little bit about drug use. We don't have to talk about that anymore. Your conundrum has been solved. You are absolved of all your guilt, and you are no longer a sinner.
Yes. Yep.
You are, you are,
Oh, what? Wait, what do
you
we
are,
have here? What do we have? What
you
do we
are,
got?
you're a Greek god, with a beautiful face.
Yeah, they
Um,
call me Calastrophes.
I don't know what that means.
I don't either.
Okay,
It's
good.
that's the beauty of it.
Rob, do you think I do too much? Do you think I overdo life sometimes?
Is your wife trying to tell you that? Yeah, I do. I believe that. I do agree.
Work too much or what? What is it? What is it that I do?
I think you, yeah, I think I don't want to say you work too much, but if you're trying to work to get somewhere, else, it's like, yeah, I don't know, maybe you overplan, maybe it's, don't listen to me. You do just the right amount because, you went back to school, you got you're a teacher now. That was a goal. You still do the radio. The DJing seems a little weird to me.
The weddings?
Yeah.
Why?
I mean, I just don't get it. I don't know if you like it. I don't know if you don't like it. I don't know if it's just a monetary thing.
Kind of.
Okay, all right.
It all depends on the group. The group can be really, if it's good, like it's more enjoyable. But no, the week of a wedding or the week of an event that I have to do, I say every day, I don't want to do this. I don't want to do this, but I need the money. This last wedding I just did gave me some good money so I can buy gifts for my kids for Christmas, and I don't have to like tap into savings or anything like that. So I think that's a good thing. But um, what do you do? What do you do, Rob, when you've set goals your entire life and you've managed to achieve theoretically almost every single goal you've ever set forth? What do you do?
Stand up.
Stand up.
Hmm.
That's it.
If I'm you,
Oh, I mean, like,
me, I didn't set goals my entire life. I set goals 2 years ago.
yeah,
I didn't have goals. My goals all through my adult life were to, um, not be sick, not let people know I was a pathetic waste of a human life, and somehow keep all the balls in the air in terms of having a job, an apartment, dealing drugs, using drugs, not letting people know I use drugs, and hopefully having a relationship. If I was keeping all that going through use of downers to feel nothing and uppers to keep my body awake, and to get through every single day, that was good. That was good enough for me. Now that's not so much. So I don't know what it's like to have lifelong goals that relate to being a part of society, like owning a house and teaching our futures, children's futures, whatever. Um, I don't understand that mentality. I don't even understand the mentality of I want to have a kid.
mm-hmm.
That sound like if I say that, I feel like I'm being arrogant and going like, these genes deserve to continue on. But I still, it's like that's a hurdle I can't even jump. So you and I have a way different outlook on what life goals are, and I'm just starting to get back to that ambitious mentality. And not really. I mean, I hit the ground running pretty hard.
Mm-hmm. I would say, yeah, I would say you made good goals, but I'm just saying, like, what do I do? Do you live in? Are you just content the rest of your life, or what do I do next?
So, well, I feel like if you reached your goals, then yeah, you would be content.
But I'm not.
Then that means that you set the wrong goals, my friend. I'm sorry to tell you. You got to start again.
Tell me what my goals are, because I don't know.
I mean, I think your goals are to reach a mass audience and make them feel good somehow.
Mm-hmm.
Somehow I think that like you get your some type of self-worth out of knowing that people think about you or are willing to put forth some effort to to know you, or to know what you're like a little bit, where it's whether it's coming out to a live show, or just listening to a podcast that's free, literally takes no effort at all. Um, but people still don't do that, and I think you would find out if they did that you might not like it as much as you think. But I think that that's something that maybe you get a little bit um, I can trace it back to when you got when you had your first kid and everybody left and experienced life. I feel like what you really want is to experience life in a different way than being stuck in Fond du Lac.
Yeah. You broke a rule.
Oh, jeez. All right. This is the edit back in point.
I don't even live there.
That's true. You don't, but that's where I used to live. So.
No, I hear you. I hear you, man. Do you think?
I'm sorry. I was trying to be real with you.
I hear you.
Like.
I hear you. Do you think I'm reaching for this awareness and acceptance from other people because I don't know how to love myself?
Maybe, yeah. I think that's what I do too, kind of. We want people to,
God damn it! It happened again. This internet stuff is really not going in our favor. All right, we're back again.
All right.
Here we are. We are
beautiful timing. Always right in the middle of a very intense thought.
Do you think that's like God intervening, like they're becoming self-aware and we can't allow that in this simulation, so they keep disconnecting the call?
I mean, if I believe that, then I would have to believe that you were the center of the universe and not me.
Why is that?
Because we're trying to get to the bottom of. I mean, what if the universe is dependent on you staying in one spot for, like
the rest of my life?
Yeah, if you leave, you're like the Truman Show.
Great movie.
Like you can't if you leave that bubble, like all of a sudden, the masses are no longer glued to TVs, and the government AI can't do whatever it wants.
Exactly.
They can't mine the precious resources out from underneath their living rooms. So, but that doesn't mean that it's not possible.
Very much. I mean, Karen from Californication had the hots for Truman, so
is that she was in that movie?
Yeah.
I don't remember the Truman Show by its background actors. I remember the male guy, or the guy that drinks beer with him.
Philip Seymour Hoffman?
That was not Philip Seymour Hoffman. How dare you?
He's in that movie, isn't he?
Yeah, but he's not that guy.
He's in. This
is the guy.
I'm pretty sure he's in it.
I'm not saying he's not in it.
I guess.
Just saying he's not the guy I'm talking about. The guy I'm talking about is tall. He has a weird kind of an interesting speech impediment. It's not really a speech impediment, but the way he speaks is very telling.
I'm wrong. It's not Philip Seymour Hoffman. Damn, I'm an idiot. Well,
no, it's okay.
Well,
but anyway, I do digress. It's to me, I think that's the thing that you're missing, that you can't get over, which you will find out later on. I mean, it's going to be another 18 years. Sorry to tell you.
Yeah.
Most likely. It might be, maybe in 10 years, when you're down to one again and you got the house paid off. And
10 years? I hope my house is paid off in 10 years.
Well, mostly paid off. Whatever. You know what I'm saying.
Sure.
One of the dogs is going to be, sadly gone, but not forgotten. But you won't get another one. And so you'll save on dog food and vet trips, and you won't be sick all the time. And you only have one 10-year-old kid, and maybe then. You'll cross the boundaries and get out of the upper Midwest. Can I say that at least? I mean, there's a picture of Wisconsin on the sweatshirt, so I
Yeah.
think I can at least say that.
Right.
And you'll find, it's like you'll go to Prague, you'll go to Scotland, you'll go to Spain and Florida.
Absolutely.
Who knows what you'll like?
Well, speaking of our sweatshirts and our merch, please buy it. It's on TeePublic. Go to teepublic.com, search Dudes with Brews on a Porch. Buy it so then I can buy a new computer and maybe Rob can get a beefed up internet. Or maybe I could get a beefed up internet. Who knows?
I might be able to talk to T-Mobile because now I'm on T-Mobile.
Look at you.
Better than Boost. Boost is the devil. If you're using Boost, stop right now because they will screw you down the line. This is not an ad for T-Mobile as much as it's an anti-ad for Boost.
I switched from T-Mobile.
All right, back to the show.
I switched from T-Mobile.
To Boost?
No, to Spectrum.
Okay, it's better.
Yeah, for sure.
So if you're ever at the post office, if you could just ask them if they got a package for me there.
Yeah.
Because I keep getting messages that say they're spam from the U.S. Postal Service, saying that they have a package that can't be delivered. I've tried to click on the link; it doesn't go anywhere. I'm afraid of getting viruses.
Yeah.
But it's like just return it to the sender because if they return it to Boost, Boost will send it to somewhere else, not me.
Exactly. Or maybe
because they're evil.
Or maybe give your money back. Who knows?
I doubt that too. But if there's not a no chance.
Exactly.
But either way, so now I might be able to go in there and maybe get a tablet, and they'll spread it out over the next 2 years or something, and I'll have to pay an extra $50 a month. That I could handle.
Yeah, who knows? Well, Rob, 300 episodes in, and we're still going strong. We still enjoy it. We're still having fun, and if anything, it gives an opportunity for two best friends to speak to each other. It's a weekly commitment, and if that's all it is, then that's all it is, and that's fine with me. And if people happen to stumble upon it,
yeah, but the t-shirts are really comfortable.
yeah, the t-shirts are pretty sweet. You can even get a pillow. You can rest your head upon the pillow. So many different things that you can do. There's pretty cool designs on there that I encourage you to peruse. 300 episodes.
I will say, everybody that's got one out here, they really like them.
Good. I mean, it's pretty crazy.
And the sweatshirt is still is my favorite sweatshirt. It's the perfect it's not like the Astonishing Legends sweatshirt I have. Too thick, too hot.
Yeah.
But the Dudes with Brews sweatshirt I have, it breathes. It's got a good knit to it. Absolutely.
Well, man, we're like the little engine that could. We're still, I think I can, and maybe one day we'll find that proverbial success that we're looking for, or meaning to life, or maybe we'll find an opportunity to never shit our pants again and drink IPAs all day long. Mm-hmm. I drank.
What happens to that engine at the end of that? But he gets decommissioned because they don't use steam anymore, right? Is that how that ends? He gets old and dismantled.
Gets put out to pasture like most people. Yeah. I drink Goose Island Beer Company's Tropical Beer Hug. Pretty tasty, pretty good, smooth, went down well. I would drink it again if I were ever in a pinch for a brewski. Long live the IPA. Rob, how was your Beachwood Brewing Loma Prieta?
For the person that likes that bitter mouth taste that sticks around, if that's like what you want out of your beer flavor, I would recommend, and you like a Pilsner, I would recommend you drink this. For me, this beer is not for me.
Okay.
It sticks, that bitter flavor sticks around a little too long. And I don't like that.
Fair enough.
That's me. It overpowers the other, the flavors in the beer, so I can't even really get a grasp on them. I know that there's a sweetness to something in there, but I don't know what it is. I can't taste it over the bitterness that comes up front.
Absolutely. 300 episodes, man. Here's 300 more. Toodaloo.
You still got you still got. I thought you were gonna cheers me. Are you out of beer?
I am. It's empty, but we can proverb
Oh, okay.
fake cheers.
I got do a fake cheers.